Anyway, Congressman Darrell Issa says he should pass the bill, Andre, and switch it to one that says down with regulations, because Issa says his hearing today proved the regulations are what's keeping the jobs market down. The California Republican, very, very powerful congressman joining me right now. What I always get a kick out of in these arguments, you know, you got to pass this bill, got to pass this bill. Next week, I'll tell you how I'm going to pay for the bill. Leaving that aside, you're saying just cease and desist and do what?
Well, Neil, one of the important things that our AmericanJobCreators.com has shown us is when we ask real job creators what the impediments to job creation are, they come in with specific challenges to their creating jobs in their various industries, whether it's a packing plant or meat processing, or it's even, as we had in one of our witnesses today, Mr. Barter, somebody who raises exotic snakes. The fact is, they know what's stopping them from keeping their jobs or growing their jobs, and they're telling us. And what we're seeing is an administration that wants to give lip service to reviewing old legislation and, more importantly, not creating and fast-tracking lots of new regulation. And they don't realize that that is costing us more. And if you simply slow up regulation to a reasonable pace, get rid of wasteful, if you will, expired legislation, you can create jobs at no cost to the taxpayer and a revenue to the government. That's what American Job Creators was set up for before the president was sworn in. It's what we've been compiling, and it's what our hearing today was all about.
You know, Congressman, we had a speed reader here yesterday who was going through the 25,000 plus pages of regulations, and we're adding, I guess, 10 a day. And he was, going through some of them that had unusually anal provisions in them. And yet, the one thing I discovered from very smart lawyers is that ignorance is not a defense if you're in violation of any of those regulations. And if someone wants to go after you, they can cite any one of the ridiculous provisions you might be violating and stymie business. Now, we're going to talk to a business titan on this very issue, but I've talked to a number of small and medium-sized business owners who say, Neil, it's not the taxes, it's the regulations, it's the paperwork.
Well, absolutely, Neil. And anyone who's got an employer, walk up to the employer and say, if you have more profit, do you mind paying more taxes? They'll say, I don't mind. But I mind that I don't have profit because regulations are keeping us from being competitive. That's what our witnesses showed us today. Even in fact, if you will, a witness from the left had to admit that cumulatively regulations do have a cost that may give us cleaner air and water, may give us all kinds of things we want. But if in fact a job isn't there, then eventually they have a counter effect. And that's what we're beginning to see in America, is that what we want in the way of, if you will, socially good regulations, in some cases is causing the very most important thing to the family, which is an income and a job, to disappear. That's why we're supporting sensible regulatory reform. The president has said he wants to do it. We just want him to do what he said he wants to do.
Congressman, good seeing you again. Thank you very much. Darrell Issa.
Thank you, Neil.
Well, my next